We were talking in a video about not being afraid to not subject yourself to family who are toxic, who you don't like, you don't want to be around. And as I said a million times before in that video, and as I'm going to say again, blood doesn't make you family. Blood makes you related. Family is what you make of it. And this person left the following comment. I used to be afraid to tell my family, man, I'm getting blind, how I felt, set boundaries, or cut them off because they were my elder family members. 15 years ago, I stopped all that and ended up cutting off all, hang on, ended up cutting off all but 6 family members because they're all toxic. Every single one of them played the victim when I did it. And they always do. First things first, if they're toxic and they're not good for your life, don't have them in your life, right? I cut off my own mother years ago. Certain members of my father's family, certain members of my mother's family, because there is a level of toxicity there. There is a level of whatever it is that you went through. Like, for example, for my story, let's just take my mom's side of the family for a moment, because I know some of those motherfuckers watch too. My mother beat the shit out of me from about 8 years old until the time I ran away at 13. When I ran away from my mother's house, and when I say my mother's house, my mother and father got a divorce when I was about 8 years old, and that's when the beating started. And I'm not saying she whipped me. She beat me. Fists, belts, shoes, transit strips between the carpet and the tile. You fucking name it, I got it. I was taught how to tell other adults, like teachers and shit like that, how I fell again. And when I ran away from my mother's house at the age of 13, and I confronted her closest sibling, her sister, about this, my aunt looked at me and said, "How could you possibly say those things about your mother? You know that that's not true." And for years, I would tell them, "Hey, she's not fucking right. There is, she appears to be a normal person, and she can even be a nice person. You can love her. You can say that she's your sister and your relative, your whatever, and you could love them. But it doesn't mean that there isn't a mental issue that has not been diagnosed." And for years, they told me I was fucking insane, and how could I, and how could you possibly spread lies about your mother? And then they found that woman, my mother, dead in a pile of filth, literally, because that's how she lived. And nobody has acknowledged the fact that I've made content talking about how, do you believe me now? You can still love your relative. You can still love your sister. You can still love your aunt, your cousin, your whatever, and acknowledge that there might have been something going on behind the scenes that was undiagnosed and untreated. But nobody will. Because in that fucking family, on that side of my family, my mom's side of the family, you can't admit anything's wrong. You can't admit anybody has a problem. Everything has to be fine. Everything has to be perfect. You got to drive the latest car, wear the latest fashions, watch the cool shows, listen to the latest music, and everything is okay. And if you acknowledge anything's wrong, then you are acknowledging that there might be something wrong within the way you grew up, the way you were raised within your family. And there's something wrong. And I haven't spoken to those folks in years, because it dawned on me after I had kids and my mother got back in my life and did the same fucking thing to my kids. Not beat them, but treated them like second-class citizens. When I cut off relations with my mom the last time, I also cut off relations with my aunt and all of them, because it dawned on me. I came to the realization that they knew I was telling the truth, but they were choosing to go like this. Ignore it. It'll go away. Don't acknowledge shit like that. We don't need to put that out in the public sphere. And when you come to the realization that they had to have known that what you were saying was true, then you sort of come to the realization that maybe they knew what was happening to you was happening to you in the moment, in real time, and didn't do anything to stop it. Here's the bottom. I don't give a fuck if they believe me or don't believe me to this day. It doesn't matter at this point in time. But if they knew and they didn't do anything to stop it, then they were just as complicit as my mother in those beatings. And if they didn't know, then they were some of the blindest motherfuckers on the planet. And after I told them that it happened, and they told me to stop spreading lies and defended her in order to just push this all under the rug, they turned a blind eye to what happened to me. And if you motherfuckers are watching right now, please understand this. It happened. Whether you want to fucking believe it or not, it happened. Auntie, your sister beat the shit out of me when I was 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Your sister allowed her boyfriend to beat the shit out of me. And not one fucking person in my family came to my defense. The exception of my father, who didn't know what to do other than keep a Polaroid of all of my bruises and my welts when I would go visit him every other weekend, so that when I eventually ran away, he could give it to his lawyer to present to my mom's lawyer as evidence of child abuse to get her to give up custody. It all happened, and none of you will acknowledge it. And to the commenter up here, that's why it's okay to cut off toxic family members. Do I share blood with those people? Of course I do. Does that make them family? I thought it did. I loved my aunt. She's my godmother. I idolized her. I wanted to be like her. Now I see it was all about the appearance. It was all about, oh, we got a Lexus in the garage. We're going on the right vacations. We're wearing the right clothes. We're with all the right trends. That's what it was about. It was all about fucking. It was all an image. Was everything okay behind the scenes? Fuck no. Not even with her own family. Nothing major, but just the little shit in life that you just refuse to fucking acknowledge. If you have toxic family members, then what you have are toxic relatives. And you do not have to give up your time and damage your mental health to be around people that are toxic to you in your existence. Fuck them.